This one is something that's been bouncing around my head for a very long time because it's a marketing, a marketing term more than anything, and it just drives me nuts when I see these kinds of things. So I just want to dive into what I call the root cause trap. One of my least favorite phrases in all of internet healthcare, social media healthcare is we need to find that root cause. We'll help you find that root cause. I will find the root cause. That kind of language. And on the surface, it sounds like an intelligent thing to say. It sounds like that person's going to be so thorough, and it sounds like someone is finally going to uncover for you that one hidden thing that has been keeping you from getting better. But the problem is in musculoskeletal care, that phrase just becomes this trap for people. So think about what's happening and what people start to believe. The shoulder hurts, okay? Or your back hurts, or maybe your knee hurts, and then someone tells you, we just haven't found that root cause yet. Then immediately your brain is starting to think, okay, maybe I need that to schedule another MRI for this problem. Maybe I need to go get one more X-ray. Maybe it's something they missed the first time. Maybe that next person down the street or on the internet will give me this miracle movement assessment, or that next specialist, or some supplement I'm not taking. Maybe there's another test that will finally uncover the root cause for me. That next product, that next provider, and before long you're just chasing some sort of explanation when you could have been building some sort of solution for that amount of time. And this is where social media makes this become a bigger problem, because social media likes to pour gasoline on this idea to sell you something. Every video is going to promise that real reason that your back hurts, or that one muscle that nobody's talking about, that hidden cause of your knee pain, because it might not even be the knee, right? And then and then they're going to claim that they can find that one thing that the last therapist that you went to missed. And then there's another video for you to watch, and then there's another product for you to buy, and then there's another appointment for you to schedule. And before we get much deeper into this, don't confuse what I'm saying and misunderstand me, because sometimes there is a specific diagnosis that's going to matter when we're trying to help someone. A fracture of a bone, it matters. Cancer diagnoses are going to matter in our trajectory of care. An infection matters. So progressive neurological conditions are going to matter. And these things might change what we're going to do for you. But if we rule out that pathological serious stuff, then it's a whole different conversation. And modern research is going to show us the same things, that most persistent musculoskeletal pain is not going to be explained by this one single root cause that somebody's trying to help you find, right? It's usually several things that are interacting at the same time, and it might not even have anything to do, some of it might have anything to do with what's wrong with like some muscle in your body. Maybe your strength has been declining. Maybe you're not moving as often as you used to. Maybe your sleep has gone in the tank, right? Maybe you increased your training load too quickly. Maybe you became afraid to move part of your body because of all of this chasing. You've gained some weight. You've been under tremendous amounts of stress. There's a confidence that's disappearing after a bad injury that you had. So which one of those things is going to be the root cause? All of them or none of them. We don't know. But we can't waste our time chasing it. We got to get to work. So let's run a thought experiment. If we take the same person around town to 10 different providers, okay, we call this the 10 provider test. I'm going to take this a person who needs a root cause found to 10 different providers. The first one might tell us that his glutes are weak. The next one's like, oh man, those hip flexors are tight. Third one, your pelvis is a little rotated. Then the next guy is going to blame your feet for all your problems. Then all of a sudden you have a postural issue that needs restored. You have systemic inflammation. There's a nervous system fatigue. Your breathing is wrong. Who's who? So which one of these 10 people is correct? Maybe they're all noticing something that's really happening, but are any of them the root cause of your problem? Probably not. So better questions need to be asked. So if somebody's coming to me, I am not obsessed in any way with finding a root cause. I'm not obsessed in any way with finding a magical explanation for them. Excuse me, the first thing I'm going to ask is some version of these questions. Is there something serious happening that I cannot afford to miss? That's kind of number one. So you're always trying to decide, is there a big pathological issue that we got to get this person to someone else right away? And then I want to dig into what is stopping the person in front of me from living the life that they want to live. And then we're going to sit back and think together, okay, well, how are we going to build enough capacity so that this problem that you're giving so much power to stops running your life? And these are the questions that I'm trying to move people towards when they talk to me, because many times I see someone after they've seen a lot of people and they will come in with a laundry list of different root causes that had been found on them over the years. So I have to try to help them separate that a little bit and get to work. And I've been at this a long time. We're at 20 years now. And I have become much less interested in explaining every symptom to a person. I'm much more interested in changing what a person can do. And this is the truth of the matter, is I've seen a lot of people get better without ever finding a single perfect explanation for why they saw me. And you could spend years chasing perfect explanations and never get the work done to get better. And what I tend to see there is that person continues seeking behavior but never is actually improving. And the root cause trap gets expensive, but that's not it. It's a disempowering position for you, because it teaches people that there's this lie that you can't get better until someone else figures you out. And I don't believe that. I think recovery usually starts much earlier than that, when someone begins rebuilding their confidence, rebuilding their strength, rebuilding their fitness, rebuilding their capacity. They are taking ownership and empowerment and moving towards improved capacity, and they may not even need to see someone. So we need to not ask, what's that one thing that's wrong with me that no one has discovered yet? You need to start asking better questions, like, what can I do today that makes me a little more capable than I was yesterday? And that is a useful question to ask. When you're working through a musculoskeletal issue, after big pathological things have been ruled out, the body does not need a perfect explanation. It just needs an environment where it can start to adapt.